Hi 3D printers around the world, Gergo Print 3D is back with another quick tip for V-slot wheel printers such as the Sovol SV07 and 7 Plus, but many others. You might have noticed in recent videos that my printer was making sounds. They were coming from the bed. Sounded like some kind of a resonance. Turns out, when it makes a sound, it also wears down the wheels quicker. So be on the lookout. The cause of the sound was slightly misaligned wheels under the bed. The SV07 Plus has 3 pairs of wheels. One of each pair has an eccentric nut that lets us adjust the distance from the opposite wheel, or from the extrusion if you like to think of it that way. In case of the 3 x-axis wheels carrying the tool head, only one on the bottom has the eccentric nut. It is enough to adjust that for a perfect fit. Of course, we learned that we have to turn the nut as long as we can spin the wheel easily. It is at the correct distance from the extrusion when you still can turn it with some force but no longer spins easily. Well, that's how it's done where we have 3 wheels, one being adjustable. What I did not realize, that beneath the bed there are 3 pairs of wheels, of course, and 3 of them are adjustable, and actually all 3 should be adjusted. My bed came wobbly out of the box, but I only tightened one of the wheels, and the other 2 did not have the correct distance. The bed no longer wobbled, but this caused the sound and premature wear on some of the wheels, as the distance from the extrusion is not the correct way to think of it, because with one wheel I could already set the correct distance from the extrusion, but the other 2 wheels were still not adjusted well. I told you that this was my first V-slot wheel printer. Chalk it up to my lack of experience. But now I know, and I'm telling you about it, so you can prevent this on your printer. If this kind of material feels valuable to you, please reward my efforts with a thumbs up on my video. And to get notified of similar content, I invite you to subscribe too. So, after only half a year of use, I'm already replacing some of the wheels on the bed. But it is quick and easy to do and not even expensive at all. I bought 24 wheels for 14 bucks. That comes out to 56 cents a wheel. Yes, I keep using POM wheels. According to my research, harder ones are not recommended. Remove the build plate. Remove the 4 screws holding the heated bed. You can use a Phillips head screwdriver or just spin the leveling wheels off. If you decided earlier to switch to fixed spacers, you are already familiar with the process. By the way, I like my leveling wheels. They leave the bed mesh less to compensate for. So I keep the leveling wheels. Okay, make sure you have enough space behind the printer for the bed as we lift it off the carriage. Remove the 2 hex screws from the sides of the end cap. Then remove the tensioning screw. I noted which way the logo on the tensioning knob was pointing and counted 13 turns. This will make it easier to restore my belt tension that worked perfectly until now. You can easily detach both ends of the now loosened belt from the Y-axis carriage. Then we can freely move the carriage back and forth, and I can actually feel a little bump along the way. Some of the wheels got damaged because of the bad alignment. As I inspected them one by one, I found the 2 which were damaged, diagonally opposite each other. It takes a couple of seconds to unscrew. Use the smaller end of the spanner that came with the printer to hold the nut, and remove the screw with one of the Allen keys. I actually recommend replacing one wheel at a time so we don't mix up their parts. Notice the wheel with the eccentric nut has an extra washer to cover the oval shaped hole on the carriage. Don't over tighten, make sure the wheel can still turn freely. Use the other wheels as reference. See, I marked the wheels I replaced with a color Sharpie, though personally I have video footage of my changes as well. It is much easier to fine-tune the wheel distances without the bed attached to them. This time I make sure all 3 adjustable wheels are at the correct distance from the extrusion. They can only be turned with a little bit of force and the whole carriage runs perfectly smooth now. No wobble, no misalignment. Time to reassemble everything, just in reverse order. Check the belt is not twisted before inserting its ends into the bracket. I turn 13 on the tensioning screw until the logo on the knob points down as it was before. This number will be different for you. Secure the end cap with the 2 hex screws. Place the bed. Insert the springs and screws one by one. Tighten the leveling wheels all the way. Then loosen them 3 full turns and level the bed using the same method I already showed you in the easy setup guide right here. Click on it if you need it. You will want to redo Z-tilt and bed mesh as well, all while heated to operating temperatures. My wheels needed premature replacement. Normally they should last a year or even longer. It was due to user error, me. Lesson learned? The whole procedure should not take much longer than watching this video, and it wasn't a costly mistake either, just $1.11 for the 2 wheels I replaced. The linear bearings on my SV06 Plus need different type of maintenance, but the price of grease and disassembly for lubrication took about the same amount of time. It's not a big deal either. In my opinion, one system is not that much better than the other. It's mostly up to taste. As for me, I like variety. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Even if you don't need to do it at the moment, V-slot wheel servicing no longer feels scary, I hope. Maintenance done. Now go print 3D.